you'll be 2 months shy of your 50th freaking birthday, and you're running towards the one guy in the division everyone else seems to be running away from.
How you doing, everyone? My name is Ryan and this is Ade, and welcome back to another edition of Boxtalk. Guys, apologies for yesterday. Due to a family emergency we couldn't film, but we're back. Going to give you this week in boxing. We just filmed a 50-minute video and there was no sound.
So if you want to see it, us just doing...
Yeah. So this is version 2.
Yes.
Secondly as well, unfortunately Ade couldn't do his dips this week due to, like I said, family issues. So we are going to do it in tomorrow's video.
Yeah.
Which is going to be Tommy Coyle versus Luke Campbell.
Yeah.
So hopefully we have the answers for the quiz, for the competition after that.
Rumble on the Humber.
Rumble on the Humber. That's what we forgot in the first video.
How bad is that a name?
Yeah, it's terrible. Yeah.
It's supposed to be like 3 minutes. What are you trying to do? Like Rumble on the Humber.
So let's start with this week in boxing, and let's start with Friday night fights.
Yes, sir.
Let's start with David Price. We said in previous videos, I think this week in boxing, about David Price's comeback, and we said he looked so-so.
Yes.
And you know, I think I know a bit about boxing. You think you know about boxing. And Saturday night, I learned what was wrong with David Price. He doesn't have that fire or that killer instinct.
Agreed.
And when I say that, it's not that he's not a talented fighter. He is. But when I say that killer instinct, Tepper was landing clean hooks, hard hooks from the first round, tagging him, and David Price didn't clinch, didn't fire back fire with fire. He was trying to jab off and trying to get back at distance. And when Tepper was throwing hooks, he's still trying to jab. Yes, as a bigger guy, the taller guy, you want to use your jab. But when someone's punching in your face with hooks and hooks uppercuts at close range, you throw hooks and uppercuts back.
Yeah.
David Price, to me, has been given some good but bad information. I.e., as he's tall, 6'9", they want to treat him like a modern heavyweight.
Yeah.
I.e., the Vladimir Klitschko, use your jab, use your jab. The Leonard Lewis, use your jab, use your jab. But Vladimir, if you like him or dislike him, still knows how to turn it up.
Yes.
Just look what he does when he wants to knock someone out. He'll knock you out.
Lepai, Pulev, when he wants to turn it up, he'll turn it up.
Lennox Lewis, we all know about Lennox Lewis as well. Now I'm trying to say one of the top 10. Most people have him top 10 all-time heavyweights. When he wants to turn up, he'll turn it up. David Price could not turn it up.
The worst thing about putting David Price in the same sentence as, I know you didn't mean to, as Klitschko and Lennox Lewis, is that we wouldn't have been having this conversation if they were fighting the caliber of guy that David Price fought on Friday evening. I mean, that guy, yes, he was unbeaten, but let's be honest, guys, he was what, 5'11", looked overweight, didn't look in shape, and had one of these built-up records of having fought nobody. Well, it's changed now, he's fought somebody. I thought David Price was a knockout artist. That's what he was coming up on. Remember when he knocked a few people out coming up, and I thought, this guy can bang.
Yeah.
Let's not forget people, he knocked out Audley Harrison in one. People forget that, it seems so long ago.
Yeah.
And everyone thought this guy's going to carry on. Mentally, he's shot to pieces.
Yeah.
Because this is a guy that clearly has the power.
Oh yeah.
Clearly has the stature, has a good jab, ticks all the boxes, got an amateur background, but he clearly, as soon as that guy wanted to land a couple, he almost was like, he wanted out.
David Price has overachieved. In my terms, I would say overachieved. Most people don't get to go to the Olympics. Most people don't win a bronze medal. You know what I mean? So let's give him credit for what he's
British
done.
British champion,
I'm trying to say, yeah. The guy's a bloody giant, you know what I mean? Let's give him credit for what he does, you know what I'm trying to say. But in terms of modern athletes and modern heavyweights, David Price, I think, is a slack behind. And when I say slack behind, I'm talking about in like the terms of an athlete.
Yeah.
Whereas Tyson Fury is fast, athletic. Klitschko's fast, athletic. Lennox wasn't the fastest, but again had that coordination and that balance, that conditioning. Deontay Wilder.
David Price looks a bit stiff, let's just say.
Exactly, he looks a bit stiff. He's not an athlete as these other guys. I'm not saying he's a bad athlete, but to be a top 10 heavyweight.
He hasn't got the agility.
Yeah, the agility, thank you.
Yeah.
To be a top 10 heavyweight, to be a world champion, to be at the highest level, you need that little bit more in athleticism. And I think he lacks that. And I think overall, that's going to hold him back moving forward.
Yes, sir.
Let's go with Saturday night, and let's start with the undercard from the second PBC card.
Yeah.
Arreola was going to get a shot at Deontay Wilder and sneaked out a draw, which many had him losing.
No, you started completely wrong. Let's go to the facts. Cristiano Arreola is a bum. Chris Arreola is he's one of the biggest bums that I can think of in boxing, because the reason I won't give the rest of them bums is because the rest of them have to make weight, and that's physically hard. So they've got to put their road work in, they've got to do everything, they've got to eat right, they've got to die. Chris Arreola clearly isn't eating right.
Yeah.
This is a professional athlete that look, and Chris Arreola is one of the known heavyweights, so he's getting paid 6 figures a fight easy. If you give me 5 figures, just 5, say add 10 grand, get in shape, you're gonna have a fight. You will see the best physique known to mankind. Chris Arreola is a professional athlete that has been around against the top heavyweights, and he still fails to get in shape. And he's what, 32 now?
Yeah.
Never getting in shape then. Useless.
You know, you mentioned this in the other video. You mentioned this in the other video that didn't have no sound. That we work full time.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, and we kind of try to stay in shape. We're not in shape right now, but you know, you try to stay in decent shape.
No one's gonna say we're fat.
Yeah, but
will you?
But if we had no job and your full-time job every day of the week was to stay in shape to fight a professional career, when you got decent talent as well, you're a decent athlete, you've got good punch power, you've got a good chin, and you're a contender, you've got no excuse.
I get in shape to go on holiday.
Yeah.
I diet. I say no carbs for holiday. I say, you know what, I'm getting in shape. You know what the worst thing is for me? When you know the price could be and still might be Deontay Wilder. Yeah. That's the potential price. You saw Deontay Wilder's last fight. Yeah. You think, something in it. I've got to guarantee myself that fight, because you never know. Because I still think Deontay Wilder's a weak champion. And that's what you come into when you know the prize is that. You've got to look at yourself in the mirror and think, do I want this anymore?
Yeah, definitely.
And he lost the fight. Yeah. That wasn't a draw, he lost that fight.
Arreola, to me, is really a big disappointment. I know we always said that the Cubans, like Olinda Solis, is a big disappointment. And who else was a big disappointment we were talking about a few minutes ago?
Well, heavyweights.
Yeah, we're talking
I don't know, but Mike Perez.
Mike Perez. And Arreola's in that mix for me as well. The reason why he's in that mix for me, I remember when he fought Vitaly Klitschko about 6 years ago, 2009 I think it was.
I think it was 8 or 9,
yeah, and he took a beating. Do you remember that fight?
That's when Vitaly was saying, you know, one fight I'd beat.
Yeah, and he was just beating, just give him a beating.
That's my Ukraine, yeah.
But after the fight, Arreola was crying in the post-fight press conference. He was swearing and going, oh, enough, so and so, and he made a vow that he's going to come back and be in shape. He knows what it's like to be against a champion and blah blah blah. I'm going to be better. I'm going to come back stronger. He never really came back stronger. He lost weight for about 1 or 2 fights, and he came back and done Thomas Adamek. Yeah. I like Thomas Adamek. Thomas is a good fighter, but Thomas Adamek, who was a light heavyweight, and then a cruiserweight, and then an extremely small heavyweight, should not be a 6'4" Chris Arreola.
Yeah, and we'll talk about his brother later, and that's not being racist. I'm just saying his brother in terms of Chavez. And what I mean by brothers is guys that can't get in weight. And these are guys that know they're guaranteed fights, know they're guaranteed money. Heavyweight division's so weak, Arreola's a name, he knows he's guaranteed 6 figures easily. And like I've said before, why get in shape when you know you're guaranteed 6 figures? I genuinely believe that he doesn't feel he can beat the top guys. Yeah. So he'll come in shape for the bums, but it's the top guy, but like, that's his excuse. Yeah. I wasn't in shape. He done it with Stavern, wasn't in shape. Adamek, I wasn't in shape. Vitaly, I wasn't in shape. Uses it all the time, had enough. Next one.
Alright then, let's go with the main event on that card was Chavez Jr.
Another bum.
The guys that can't make weight. And we've argued about some video before, and he said he doesn't do it all the time. Yeah. He does it all the time. He didn't even do the weigh-in for Showtime after the fight. When they showed the little screen of the weigh-in, they got that question marks, like, no one knows how much he weighs.
But remember I told you that off camera that his opponent knew how much he weighed because of the scales in change room, and he said he came in at 202 pounds.
202 pounds, that's ridiculous.
That's 30 pounds above what he weighed in on the scales in 24. Think about that, people.
34 pounds.
Okay, guys, think about that. So you weigh in, remember, you weighed in at 172, innit?
Oh, yeah.
Weighed in at 172. Yeah. 30 pounds is basically just 2 stone. Yeah. In 24 hours, you put on 2 stone. I know you hydrate yourself. I mean, that's impossible.
So basically, you basically just saying that yesterday, I weighed 170 pounds, and today I wore what I wore today, today, which is 208.
Yeah, it's almost cheating.
No way.
That's cheating. That's cheating. I don't know how he's done that. I'm not trying to call foul on anything, but I've never heard of anyone putting 30 pounds on. I mean, you hear about 10 pounds and this, and 30 pounds. Anyway, his performance was like his weight. It fluctuates. Yeah. You're going to get good bits from Chavez, and you're going to get inconsistently good bits. And I've come to a conclusion that he just isn't as good as I think he is. And I mean, we can go all around the houses sometimes and say, yeah, he's got a weight issue and he's not consistent and he doesn't. I just think we've got a decent boxer that's been fed to us through the story of his father and this and that. And he's a good boxer when he wants to turn up, but that's just what he is, a good boxer. And there's no shame just being a very good boxer.
2 points. One, I think the guy he fought was a middleweight that came up. So besides fighting a much smaller guy and bumping him on the scales and then bumping him on the pre-fight scales, he didn't put in a good performance.
And then and then possibly getting a draw, but he won it. Yeah, maybe.
Then on the second side, talking about what he's done, I think his desire's gone. He no longer really wants to fight no more though.
Problem for him though is, like anyone else, I guess he's a name. We saw the check for the Farah fight, that was 1.75 million. Unofficial for this fight, he got paid 1.8. I mean,
how do you get 1.8 coming off a loss when you got knocked out and quit on your stool?
The funny thing is, this shows it. This says, why? That's the desire right there. I don't think, I agree with you. I don't think he's got desire, even though he called out Badu Jack George Groves winner. I don't think he's got desire for titles, but how do you turn down 1.8, 1.5 million? As rich as we think his father is, they're not mega rich. I mean, his father fought 20 years ago at his peak. That money doesn't last forever. 1.8, 1.75. Can't turn that money down.
That's what it's about. It's prize fighting. You're fighting for the prize. So, you know, that's where it is.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But I think there's a limit and enough's enough now. We both have views of Chavez and we both said that we think Chavez could do so much. But now, I come to the conclusion that he's going to do so little.
Yeah, I've come to the conclusion. Just like, aside from the weight, look, the weight thing, I mean, look, we're going to be strict on him, but £4 for me is okay. Let me still see a performance.
Yeah.
If you're going to come in that weight, let me see you dominate the smaller guy, hit him to the body, hit him to the head, get rid of him in 4 rounds. I'll be like, you know what? For you to go points with a guy that you've cheated on the scales, for a guy that you've overweighed by nearly £30, and you still can't put him away, it's not that good anymore.
As boxing fans, we believe what we see.
Yeah.
And I think we're all talking about the Martinez fight, which was 5 years ago now.
And he lost by 11 rounds, and he landed one in the last round.
We're talking about Andy Lee's the current world champion, and he beat Andy Lee and blah blah blah. And we look at everything. What we keep forgetting, that is middleweight. Abraham versus Robert Stieglitz.
It was 4. I exaggerated saying 10, but I was just taking the piss. The most unneeded fight in boxing history.
Yeah. What I'm going to say is going to sound really crazy and really weird. In terms of Abrams won the fight comfortably.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah. He came out fast, which is unusual.
Yes.
Stayed fast.
Yes.
And got a knockout.
Yeah.
You know,
great performance.
Yeah,
you hear it like that. It's a good performance.
Very good performance. But you know, they say leopards don't change their spots. Yeah. Abraham changed his spots, and that tells me, I think Abraham's gonna get old now. Abraham's the type of guy that fights with a high guard, boxes, and then kind of overwhelms you down the line. When someone changes their boxing style completely, it either tells you that they can't do what they used to do. They're getting as an old fighter, and they're trying to slug more. Boxers turn into sluggers when they get older. Yeah, sluggers don't really turn to boxers. You know what I mean? It's kind of like the down. So Abraham definitely done a change. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna agree and disagree.
You get my point?
I get the point, but I don't know if I get the point against Abraham. And the reason I say that is because the first fight against Paul Smith, he done exactly the same thing. He tucked out. He was old school Abraham, and Paul Smith landed on him. The second fight was almost like, I know what you got here now, Paul. Yeah. I'm gonna slug it out when he destroyed Paul Smith. Yeah. He's fought Stieglitz 3 times before, and I think this is a guy that just knows what it takes to beat Stieglitz. Yeah. I do get the point about him slowing down. He's definitely slowed down. I don't think he can do what he used to do in terms of 3-minute rounds anymore. Who can at 34, 35, however old he is. He's changed his style a bit, but I think he changes his style, and this could be experience now, depending upon who he's fighting.
You take shots on your arms, those kill your arms and your shoulders. You can't punch no more, but he still punches. So maybe through sparring, through age, through experience, he's slowly said, guess what, I need to change up a little bit now because I ain't hitting what I'm supposed to be hitting.
It's strange though, because I feel like this Abraham now is more, look, I'm not going to say he can beat anyone in the super middleweight division because he obviously can't, but he's more of a threat. This Abraham poses more of a threat to people than the Abraham used to tuck up.
Because he can punch.
Because he can bang. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I feel like, look, we're going to talk about Murray later, but I think that's the fight that's probably going to happen. Yeah. I think George Groves possibly could happen, both sides, you know, that could happen as well. There's something there, and I feel like this Abraham brings a bit more interest. I used to think Abraham was a boring motherfucker before, but now I'm looking at him thinking, exciting.
Let's go with Eggington versus Froch.
Alright, I'm starting this one.
Go ahead.
The reason I'm starting this one is because I think about 2 months ago I said to Ryan, I'm hard as Eggington guy.
Yeah.
I'm hard him. It's something about him. You know what I mean? Even though I looked at his record, he had 2 losses. I said, something about Ryan was like, not too sure yet. And I can understand why he said that. You know, at the time, I think Eggington was 20. I think his biggest win was Denton Vassell. It's that Vassell performance that made me feel like, we've got something here. We have something that, in the 147 division is quite rare. We've got a tall. I think Eggington looks about 5'11", 5'10".
He looks tall,
maybe
yeah.
5'9", maybe because his guy's so small, but 5'9", 5'10", which is rare. He's got a very good jab, and more importantly, than if you look around the whole welterweight division, he's very, very young.
Yeah, they're very young.
And he's tasted defeat, and I like that. I like a guy that's tasted defeat
And it's come back.
And Eddie Hearn saw something from him from prize fighting, which he didn't even win. That's where he lost his. He got beaten, and thought, you know what, there's something about him. And I can see what Eddie Hearn saw. We've got a guy that Saturday, completely, and I'll let you lead on this, but completely outboxed a fight that I thought was 50-50.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be a war. I tweeted and said, this is my fight of the night, people. # war. I wish I could delete that tweet.
Coming into the fight,
Yes.
let's be honest, yeah? Everyone was talking about, obviously, Quigg, Martinez, Frampton, and his so-called showcase fight we were catching shortly after. But the underlying factor on social media and through boxing fans was Foot versus Eggington.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great fight. It's going to be a war.
Yeah.
It was not a war. It was mostly close to punch perfect
Yeah.
from Eggington. You can't really fault that performance.
Ryan doesn't say that much, people. I tell you that. He doesn't say that
you
much.
can't really fault that type of performance,
Can't
yeah? It
fault
was
it
a legit 50-50 fight. And then you didn't just win. You outboxed, outmaneuvered, out-hustled like everything you're supposed to do. I mean, the only thing that really spoiled the fight was the stoppage.
Yeah.
And like the stoppage was really a mercy stoppage where the referee said, look, this guy's taking a beating, I've got to do something about
I
it.
think for Eddie Hearn right now, I mean, Sky straight away showed the top 10, and I think the people next to him, obviously Frankie Gavin, Bradley Ski. He's not going to fight Frankie Gavin, you know that. Same stable mate that's not happening. Bradley Ski is going to be tough, Box Nation, Matchroom, unless there's some sort of mandatory and he's got a fight. They're going to go international with him. I think he was already, as he comes to the ring, he said he's WBC silver something.
Yeah.
He's silver, so they're going to go that route. And it's going to be interesting to see what they do with him. I think they need to calm down just a little bit.
Yes,
He's 21, definitely. There's still a lot to be learned, and I feel like just calm down a little bit with him and you've got something special there, but don't rush him.
Two the words right out of my mouth. He's young, he's 21, yeah? He's got, or 22. He's got so much talent and potential, stuff that, again, I didn't see it straight away, but you can see what he's done now, that he's so young, let him nurture, let him refresh himself. He's a man, he's 22 years old.
21.
21, yeah? But, he's not, but let's be fair, he's not really a man yet.
No, he's not got his man punching
his
power
man's
yet.
strength, his man's size, you know what I mean? He'll mostly go up to be like 154, no, I'm trying to say, maybe 160.
He's going to be 160.
You got a point, yeah? Give him a chance to grow a little bit, because you know, he'll get guys, again, at one, I'm not saying he's going to fight these guys, but if you look at Kell Brook and the Amir Khans, these guys are much bigger physically than him because they're men.
Yeah.
You get what I'm trying to say? Give him a chance to grow a little bit, and I'm trying to say, give him, I won't say easy fights, give him fights that give him rounds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And giving them tough, no disrespect, they might take it wrong, but giving them tough European taxi cab drivers. Couple of those, no one's going to moan. He's 21. We accept them. We don't accept them with Kell Brook. We accept them with him. And
give him 4 fights, give him Carson Jones, a British name that everyone knows. Martin Murray. I'm happy Martin Murray got the win. I'm happy that he's being active.
Did Martin Murray win? Did I miss something?
Yeah.
Did I miss something?
You know, Addy's a turncoat, you know that, yeah? He loves Martin Murray, yeah? And for the past few weeks, yeah, he's been on his case for these type of opponents.
It is. You know it's like when you
The guy was big. The guy was much bigger.
You know when you love someone and they piss you off sometimes. You know what it's like, right? It hurts a bit more. I love Martin Murray. Go on.
I think it was a very good performance from Martin Murray.
Yeah.
He looked nimble, he looked quick, he looked athletic. The guy was a unit. The guy looked like he was a big like.
That was a cruiser.
Yeah.
He looked a cruiserweight.
My only thing I'm going to say about this fight, and I will leave it at that, is that just because you're winning a fight hands down, it don't mean you have to give you a bullshit stoppage against a guy that's never been stopped before.
That was, and you're playing it down nice.
It was a terrible stoppage.
That was the worst stoppage I think I've ever seen in boxing. People might be like, what? It's a big statement. What I mean, look, come on guys. That fight was so easily going points. That guy wasn't hurt by nothing Murray did. Yes, he might have looked a bit, off balance here and there. It's a fucking fight.
Yeah.
There was no cut. There was no knockdown. Yeah. There was no, ooh, that's a hard punch. Nothing.
Martin Murray, showed in that fight to me how quick he is and how he's actually growing to the weight now. Whereas
before, I wouldn't say he was flat-footed, but when you're tired, you're weight drained, and you're at a smaller weight class, you're not just fully self. He seems fresher. Yes, he was only 5 rounds. He looked fast, he looked nimble. He got in, he got out. He boxed well. He boxed smart against a guy that was clearly bigger and stronger than him.
Yeah.
I think he's now a legit super middleweight, and there's no excuse now holding him back.
There is no excuse, but I look at the guys at 168. We talk about nimbleness, yeah, and like Murray's nimble to an extent against a guy this bonus that was more flat-footed than anything I've ever seen before. But you look at the likes of you look at the Durrell brothers.
Yeah.
You look at James DeGale in terms of nimbleness. Andre Ward, George Groves, even Badu Jack.
Yeah.
These guys are so nimble. But one thing they have over, which I've not seen yet from Murray, they've got a punch.
Yeah.
I don't think Murray has the punch yet. I haven't seen it yet anyway. So I'm a bit concerned if Murray goes up. Look, Murray goes after Abraham route, world title. I think he secures it. Murray goes that route. I don't fancy him against any of those fighters. Any of them. Not even George Groves.
The thing about Martin Murray, and this is what people seem to forget with Martin Murray, he's been with the higher caliber people to the guys you mentioned. Stern.
I don't know about that. Stern, Martinez, and GGG. Yeah, it's a good run actually.
Alright, Martin Murray has fought the better position than these guys already. Yeah. And one thing about Martin Murray is that you have to give Martin great credit for. He's been down a couple of times, but Martin Murray's never really been hurt by he's rock, he's gonna get knocked out. He looks shaky. And the point I'm making is that he's very, very sturdy. Good example, George Groves does not look sturdy no more.
Yeah, it doesn't, I agree.
You know what I mean, yeah? Even times, in James Gill's great performance against bloody Andre Durrell, he didn't look fully in control,
Yeah, those guys are big guys.
No, I'm just saying, I'm not criticising, I'm saying that Martin Murray, being who he's been in, yes, he got stopped by GGG, but he would not actually got stopped with the body shot and he got, put down by Bussy. He's never actually been he's going out.
See, the thing is,
I think he's a very, very tough dude.
The thing with Murray, and you talked about some of the fights he's been in. No, I'll give you credit for those, Martin. First of all, he lost all of them.
Yeah.
I don't think he did, but the record say he lost all of those fights. Well, actually, one was a draw. Stern, I think, was a draw.
It was a draw. Yeah, it was a draw.
But look, GGD said he can make, easily make light middle 154. He said he can do that. Martinez has fought at 154.
Yeah.
They're not big guys, you know what I mean? These are not big guys.
Yeah.
Andre Durrell is a big guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anthony Durrell's a big guy. They're all big guys. They're just not small. But these are big guys.
Big guys for you, not for...
No, whatever, man.
Not someone my size, but it's alright.
What, weight? Well, you big guy now. Yeah. How much you weighing right now?
Huh?
What you weighing right now?
208, bro.
You're that big?
208, bro.
You wouldn't know it. You wouldn't know it stand next to the beast.
6'2.5", 208.
You wouldn't know it stand next to the beast.
I make these guys look small.
Anyway, the point I'm trying to make here is that he hasn't fought big nimble guys. He's fought small nimble guys. And I guarantee, you know what I mean? So I'd like to see him against big nimble guys that can punch as hard. Maybe not as hard as GG, but can punch as well. So we'll see what he does with them.
Yeah, definitely. Alright then, let's move forward. Let's go right now to Carl Frampton.
Here we go.
Okay, I'm gonna start this one.
No, I'm gonna start this one.
Why? Go on.
Because Carl Frampton's my man. You can start Scott Quigg. He's your boy.
Alright, you started Frampton. Right, tear him to shreds. I'm joking. I'm joking. Go on.
See, the thing about Carl Frampton's fight, and you know what? Sometimes I love Twitter. I'm a Twitter fan. I'm a social media junkie.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think some Twitter guys chat the most fucking shit known to me. Oh, Carl Frampton lost. Oh, he's crap.
So
I saw some guy tweet them words. Carl Frampton is crap. Scott Quigg smashes him, and I thought. You know, you're only as good as your last fight, they say. But this was you're only good as your last one. You know what's happened, yeah? Eddie Hearn's done this. He's done this a bit. He said, Carl Frampton's got put down by the 11th ranked Mexican. Yeah. Look, this is the Mexicans' weight. This is their division. They don't have cruiserweights and super middleweights and light heavyweights. They have bantamweights and featherweights. This is their division. Yeah. So getting beat by the 11th ranked Mexican is the equivalent of getting beat, no disrespect, by the 1st ranked Brit.
Yeah.
That's their weight class.
But there's a few people on Twitter that I check because I like their articles, like what they do, so I always check their pages. And I can't remember if it was Dan Rakefield or Doug Fisher. But someone said midweek that, rumour around going on is that this guy Gonzalez is an animal.
Yeah.
Know what I mean? He knows what he's doing. This ain't no blowout. This is a real fight.
Yeah.
Know what I mean? He was in the gyms, doing numbers on people, basically. You know what I mean?
And you get those.
Yeah.
Valero was one of those guys. But before anyone knew Valero, the same rumour Doug Fisher put around that this Valero in the gym schooled Eric Morales.
Yes. I've seen the video of that.
I've seen the video of that as well, where he puts Eric Morales with that combination.
Yeah.
There's guys out there like that.
This guy's dad is a former world champion. I think it was the WBC belt he had. Yeah?
Fought Kevin Kelly for it as well.
So this guy, again, is in Mexico, found these small reasons that no one knows about, but laying the law down.
Yes.
And I'm trying to say, yeah, this is a real fighter. And when I say a real fighter, what people don't understand, you could have all the ability and all the technical ability, but it's having that grit.
Yes.
This guy was not scared that Carl Frampton's a world champion with all these accolades, what he's going to be and how great he is, so and so.
Not at all.
He said, no, I'm coming here to box because I
Coming
can
in to
fight.
win a world title.
I'm coming to fight.
Yeah.
And he came to fight.
Yes.
Let's give him credit. I will say two things about this fight. No, I'll say a few things about this fight. One, give Carl Frampton credit. He got dropped twice.
The second drop was a hard one.
Yeah, he got dropped twice.
And he got hit a few times.
And you could also say, guess what? And he made a comeback to win.
Yeah.
Yeah? Give him credit. It wasn't an easy fight. He was fighting a guy that had, what's the word? I would say in an equal or maybe even superior timing to Frampton.
Yeah.
Frampton took a good 4 or 5 rounds to actually work this guy
More
out.
power than Frampton.
And catch him, you know what I'm trying to say? Yeah? And he had all that reach and size against him as well. So give Frampton credit for that fight.
Yeah.
What I will say as well, it showed that Frampton's got that fighting spirit and that heart and that grittiness. But on the other side though, give Gonzalez credit. Yes, people were saying he was a prospect or some young kid. I think we got a contender. Yeah? Like he's young as well, he's only like 22 as well. Don't rush him. Give him a few rounds and let him grow into the weight because he looked really wiry. So he must have got up to 126 or even 130. But that guy is for real.
I'm telling you now, yeah. Any English promoter would tell you. And when these guys are going through their apprentice, you basically fight Europeans. You see it, guys. You can check their records. You fight a French guy, an Italian. You fight an English guy. You don't fight Mexicans. You don't even fight the 50th or 20th French. You just don't do it because they breed them. This is the weight they are. This is, remember, these guys have grown up on the Barreras and the Marquezes. This is what they've done. This is what they do. And I feel like Frampton's getting a lot of stick. And I look at that fight, and as a Frampton fan, yes, I'm going to stick up for him, and rightly so. But I'm thinking, you look at that fight and you take away from it the positives and think,
it's not sticking up for him. It's being objective.
I look at it and I think, this is a guy that went away from home. First fight on PBC. Was fighting a guy that clearly they got wrong, and you get him wrong. Look, Breeders' Press got Amir Khan wrong. That's what this kind of fight was for me, and we saw what happened there. Do you know what I mean? And I think you survived. And you look at everyone's record, all the best heavyweights and fighters you've ever seen, they've all had this kind of like, shouldn't have fought that guy. But if you get away, you get away.
You got away with it. Here's the thing about it as well, what people forget as well. Again, I'm on the Quigg side, but just give Frampton credit, like I said, most guys don't fight away from their hometown. Andre Ward,
why would you when you sell out your own arena?
I'm saying to go abroad, to get used to the timing, the food, your creature comforts are no longer there.
Let's not forget as well, Rigondeaux got put down twice in his last fight. I don't see Eddie Hearn saying, Rigondeaux got put down by some Chinese guy, let's fight Rigondeaux. And finally, and we'll end on that before we move into Scott Quigg, which is a good one, don't take serious about this thing with I'm moving up weight. It's just when you lose a fight, it's anything in life, you lose a fight, you think, what's wrong? And you're going to talk about the weight issues and things. His weight cut was probably a lot tougher. He's in America, he's used to weight cut in Ireland, everything's different. But don't think he's going to move up to 120 because look, Carl Frampton looks like he could move down.
I don't think he could go 126.
Because the guys up there are huge. I mean, we're talking Lomachenko, we're talking... Look, Selby gives him problems for me, that kind of reach and that kind of awkwardness. So I think he will stay at the weight. But that Selby fight is a good one.
No comment for now. No comment. He's still got problems with Scott Quigg.
He hasn't got Scott Quigg problems.
Scott Quigg.
He hasn't got Scott Quigg.
Scott Quigg.
Yes, sir.
The guy that I'm a Scott Quigg fan, but I admitted Scott Quigg's stock has gone down in recent performances, and not to his own fault because of injuries, people pulling out, whatever. I said that Scott Quigg needs to win this fight better than Frampton because people are always going to compare it to Frampton. Are they? I want to see dislike Scott Quigg.
No,
but he clearly thinks Frampton's better.
Oh yeah.
As you guys know, I disagree.
Do you?
No, I disagree.
No, I don't think you disagree. I think you. So we're gonna have to clarify this right now. So you think Scott Quigg's better than Frampton?
I've said this in 100 videos. No, I've said it loads of times. I said loads of times. I think
Star will make fights.
Thank you. Star will make fight. And remember the competition I had with Barry Hearn?
He was kissing his ass that day.
Don't even try it. Don't even try it. I never kiss no one's ass. Anyway, let's go to the facts. Scott Quigg made a statement. Yes, the first round looked shaky, and I was like, oh, this doesn't look good at all. This doesn't look good at all. But then the uppercut came, and then the finish came. And what Quigg said was that he gets aggressive. He gets it. We waited and then waited and then waited and waited him. And when you look at that uppercut that actually landed, it wasn't just a punch thrown. It was a planned punch. He shifted his body weight and threw the shot. It was planned. It wasn't like just a lucky shot.
and then he finished. He done something Frampton couldn't do, and now he's not made it even, but he's made it more closer to the playing field now with that performance.
Whatever. Look, I'm a Scott Quigg fan, and it was a good performance. Did I expect him to blow up Martinez like that? No. 2 minutes into the fight, I wasn't saying I was laughing, but I was like, ES is in trouble. I was thinking, this guy's... And then he produced something, and I'll give him credit because the pressure was on. Like Ryan said in our preview video, the only way he gets out of this fight with any credit is if he stops him early, and he did it. So I can't take credit away from him. I'm a boxing fan. I'm not a Quigg or Frampton. First and foremost, I'm a boxing fan. Then I become fans of the fighters. So I'll give Quigg huge props for that. One thing Quigg clearly has more than any other bantamweight, Regondo, the rest of them, he's got power.
Yeah,
he's got power. I don't think he's got the technique of more. He still looks a bit, for me, robotic, and it's not smooth, it's not fluid, but he's got the power, and that power's an equaliser at the lower weights. What I will say though is this. Look, 1 + 1 in boxing doesn't equal 2. Because, do you know what I mean by this?
I get that.
Yeah,
I get that.
because, wait.
Because you beat him in 2, now you're going to beat him.
Squigg knocked out Martinez, and Martinez...
What him? Squigg. Taking the mic.
Alright, sorry.
Hey,
I think didn't hear that. Right, Quigg knocked out Martinez, and wait a minute, Frampton went to 9 rounds, then points with Martinez. So wait a minute, that means Quigg must be able to beat Martinez.
No,
boxing doesn't work that way. And I think some guys on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube think it does. And all I'm trying to say is that yes, I said 75-25 before. It's now 76-24. It's got closer. I'll give you that.
1 doesn't equal 2, but in talking about negotiating, at the end of the day, if Quigg's belt is a regular or a super or bloody whatever belt it is, it's a value to the table. He's beaten a person you couldn't beat in impressive fashion.
He's beat him twice.
No, not the way Quigg did it, yeah?
A win's a
Listen,
win.
yeah? If they fought right now and Frampton won, will Frampton take that regular belt and put it in the bin?
See, okay.
He will keep the belt. So it brings value.
Okay, you say that.
So everything is done. Let me finish. Everything is done. This weekend brings value to the table. Go to the main event in the UK. Okay, one thing I want to say quickly about before we go to the main event in the UK, I'm still surprised and don't understand what Matchroom's doing. How come Quigg was not the main event when he was defending his title for the 5th time?
Someone said to me, I asked a question on Twitter, and someone said on Twitter it's because Crolla or Quigg, I can't remember which one it was, but Crolla or Quigg liked to warm up by 45 minutes. Murray's fight ended early. They needed that to go out. Bollocks. Quigg hasn't headlined a fight ever, apart from when he won the title, I think.
Okay.
And I'm sorry.
If rumours persist that he's going to get the next as a pay-per-view, how can you put it on pay-per-view when Quigg can't headline the card yet?
Eddie Hearn said pay-per-view, and I nearly choked. I think I was choking on ice cream. It wasn't even like I was choking on something difficult. I choked on ice cream. Because how was Daenerys Quigg a pay-per-view fight?
No, I'm not going to talk about the fight itself. I'm talking about you should put Quigg as he's established world champion, 5 fights, 4 or 5 defences. He should be main eventing.
He's not established world champion. He's got a regular belt.
He should be main eventing.
He's got a regular belt.
He should be main eventing. That's the point I'm making. I'm not talking about the belt, but you get my point.
You've got a regular belt.
Should he be on the undercard or should he be main eventing right now?
Undercard. Andy Crolla is fighting Perez for a legitimate title, and some guy's fighting guy for a belt I've got. I've got this belt. I got this belt from Reese. 12.99.
Alright then, let's go back to Crolla.
Let's wrap this one up.
Okay, I'm gonna make it short and sweet.
Okay, and I'll add sugar in top.
Yeah, I think it was a grip from Crolla.
Yeah.
I said previously I don't know if he's world class. He proved he's world class.
He's definitely world class.
Give him his credit. He deserved. He deserved. I thought
a beautiful boxer.
I thought the fight was really close. Yeah, and I thought, guess what? It could have gone either way in taking into scoring the points.
Well, even with the deductions. No, I'm asking just with the deductions.
With the deductions,
okay,
Crolla won that fight.
Okay, good. They said that.
A lot of the rounds in the middle were touch and go. It were close rounds, yeah, and it depends what you score for. And I wouldn't call taking out the point deductions. If it was a draw, I wouldn't have it as no controversy because I thought it was a very good fight and it was well matched. Yeah, at times Crolla out hustled and hurt Perez, but at other times Perez was in the fight and showing his more what's the word?
Ability.
Ability. I'm trying to show he's got. But taking the point deductions, taking the low blows, Crolla got robbed.
Robbery.
Maybe not robbery, but you get my point.
Alright. Robbery. Yeah. A few people have said robbery online, and Look, immediately I was like, oh, Crolla's world champion. Then the fight finished. You get caught up in it. You get caught up with the Glenn McCrory on the commentary saying, yeah, he's won, he's comfortable, he's won. And I was thinking,
I didn't think that at all.
Don't think that comfortable. I was thinking, look, we as British fight fans, we can't have it both ways. Sometimes we say you got to win it, you got to rip it from the back. I've heard it all the time. You know, we got to rip it from the titles. But what have you done to rip? And I honestly saw neither fighter do much. I saw Crolla land something in the second round that made Perez's leg wobbles. Apart from that, I was just seeing good boxing from either person, and I found the round very difficult.
It was hard to score. Even if you gave it a round to Perez, and then you take away the 2 points, Crolla wins. You get what I'm trying to say, yeah? So for you to make it a draw, that means you had Perez 2 rounds up, which makes it 7 rounds to 5.
Which I can understand though.
No, I can understand because it's a close fight, but in a fight that close, you know,
in
it's
a fight that close for me.
You get what I'm trying to say?
Yes and no. It's in a fight that close for me. We look, as British fans, we can't be. Look, if that fight, if Perez was British and Crolla was English, the commentary would clearly say Crolla's not done enough to. I know the way it works.
No, okay, we know that. We all know that. But one time,
I feel like it's a. I feel like I'm upset for Crolla for the result, but I'm not looking at it like daylight robbery.
To me, a nip and tuck fight
goes to
7 rounds to 5. 7 rounds to 5. That's a nip and tuck. That means it was a close fight. If you won 1 round, it would be in a draw. That's a nip and tuck fight. Either way, it's a close fight. So if you have a nip and tuck fight, which could go either way, which is only 1 round in it,
and then there's points,
and there's 2 deductions. Yeah. You get what I'm trying to say? Because there's no way you could say you can't score that fight 8 rounds to 4.
Yeah. Well, why can't you?
You can't score 8 rounds to 4 because Crolla won more than 4 rounds.
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
It's close. It's close.
That's what I'm trying to. That's the point I'm making. It's a nip and tuck fight. It's decided on 1 round. It's a draw or there's a winner, and you're taking the 2 deductions. That's how it goes.
Look, we can go kind of back and forth in terms of who won. Look, Darlis Perez is the champion, and I think Crolla will get the rematch. Not now, he'll get it. But one thing Crolla proved to everyone is that we got it wrong.
Yeah.
In terms of where we thought he was, in terms of needing the comeback fight, and I think for me, I look at the lightweight division right now and look at Derry Matthews, and he seems to have to go to war to win. Kevin Mitchell seems to have to go to war to win. Crolla seems to be able to just still box brilliantly, and I think that's why I think he's the #1 lightweight in the country. People might argue that, and I can understand. Look, Terry Flanagan just won a world title. Kevin Mitchell's proven he can handle against the best, and Derry Matthews is kind of, they had a win and a draw, and Derry Matthews has won one. So it might look silly, but I look at I look at those guys, and I think those guys are coming to the end, and I think Crolla's got a lot more. Do you know what I mean? And that's why I think he could be #1 in the country, but who knows? Hopefully he gets the fight again.
Let's go with the major news. Froch retires.
It's big news.
Big news.
That's big news.
We've done a lot of Froch videos. Everyone was good fans, big fans of Froch. Let me start with this one. I'm gonna say my one piece on Froch, and then you could go because I know you. Yeah, you're gonna start on Froch. You love him.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
When Froch was coming up, and this is what made Froch a champion for me, and this is what I think what helps define his career. When Froch was coming up, he didn't get a lot of credit. I didn't give him credit either. Yeah, I thought he was more of a one-dimensional fighter.
What was your nickname?
We talk about it in a second.
What was your nickname?
Frog. Yeah.
Punk.
And
I don't think the camera heard you. Say it again.
We could talk about it after. He was a one-dimensional fighter. I thought he was, and I thought the way he fought, he loaded up on one punch and kind of was posturing and posing for his fights and everything. Even though he was a British champion, and he won that quite early.
Yes, he did. I think he was 8th or 9th.
Yeah, really early. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. He never got the credit. He was called up Kawasaki from early in his career as well. Never got the credit, and he fought ordered to #1 contendership. Yeah. I think it was a mandatory spot, and it came to him and Pascal. Yeah. To fight your way up to a mandatory spot without a big promoter, without TV exposure, and being not going to say
he got TV exposure.
A little bit, yeah, but not mainstream. Yeah. The part and I wouldn't say by fans and by maybe some of his peers wasn't going to credit due to him. He got to that mandatory spot, got that limelight with the Pascal fight, and ran with it. Him being not given the credit early in his career, I think made him his desire stronger to fight on harder and harder and harder. And as Ade mentioned, I used to call him Frog back in the day, Frog, because I just thought, he's not all that. And boxing fans back and argue you want to cuss your other guy's favourite fighter.
Carl Froch earned my respect so much throughout his career over the past 6-7 years. I think he's undoubtedly one of the best British champions we've ever had.
Yes.
I think he holds his own with anyone in the super media history, and I think he should be considered on par with Kawasaki.
Right, like me and Ryan, we've been sort of known each other for years. We've been talking boxing back and forth for years, and I remember coming up to Ryan and said, Carl Froch, and at the time, we're talking when Carl Froch, Robin Reed, McGee, Ryan rightly was like, because he's right, you know, Carl Froch was called the Cobra, and his hands were down and low, and almost a Kawasaki type kind of style. And at the time, even I was like questioning, because, you know, you still got to beat someone. And then his mandatory came up. And this is the thing about Carl Froch. You got a lot of these world champions now, and they're fighting mandatories. They're fighting, no disrespect, I'll say it out loud, bums for world titles.
Yeah, Carl
Froch was fighting John Pascal, was his mandatory. Now, people at the time probably didn't know who John Pascal was. They looked at the guy, he looked fantastic. You look at John Pascal now, you know, to fight that guy at super middleweight, how strong he must have been as a mandatory is scary. We talk about boxing nowadays, and it's become almost where fighters have turned promoters, and promoters have turned, I don't know, moguls type thing, where fighters don't want to fight fighters, but they pretend they do. And Andre Ward said this on TV quite recently in an interview about Carl Froch. He said, you got a lot of guys now that come on social media and will call out a name, but they don't really want to fight.
Yeah.
Carl Froch is definitely not one of those guys. Carl Froch would genuinely, in his palm, yes, he's retired now, fight any super middleweight in the world, and his resume says that.
Yeah, exactly.
I think as well that this Kawasaki Carl Froch argument, and it's a fantastic argument. It's going to go back and forth. People are going to have their other ways. I'm like Ryan. As much as I'm a Carl Froch fan, I think Kawasaki might have just had the edge in this fight, but it's hypothetical. One thing I will say that Carl Froch, and it gives me a bit more respect, is that Carl Froch didn't need to fight George Groves. I'll tell you that now. You don't, when you get to that experience, go and fight the young, hungry fighter. You just do not do it.
Yeah.
Kawasaki didn't fight Froch.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just don't do it.
Yeah.
Kawasaki's fight against George Groves would have been the Kawasaki Froch fight. That would have been the same kind of thing to George Groves. He took that fight against young, hungry fighters.
Yeah.
Remember, Kawasaki went to fight an old Hopkins. Not old, but you know what I mean. In terms of his age.
Let's be fair, he was in his 40s.
And an old age Jones. And they all these kind of goodbye fights. Carl Froch went and fought George Groves.
Yeah.
You just don't do that. You don't go backwards and fight young guys like that.
He went out on such a high, 80,000 people, Wembley. I know Froch talks about it all the time, but come on now, think about it. 80,000 people paid to watch you. Paid to watch you. That's what he told me about. I know you're the best fighter in the world, but you know, 80,000 people paid to watch me. Yeah.
80,000 people. No comps, bought tickets legitly.
Yeah.
There's probably, out of the 80,000, I'd probably say it's about 600 comps. In terms of press and fan.
Whatever.
So we're talking 79,400.
And guys, guys that follow boxing, you know, comps is like standard.
You got to understand, guys. You look at his resume, and you show me a boxer in the world, any boxer, any. I'm talking Pacquiao, Mayweather, Hopkins, that have fought legitimately. Look at down their record and fought the list time after time after. Since Pascal, this guy has not took a backward step. I think his easiest fight was probably Yusuf Mack.
Yeah,
and Yusuf Mack's a world title challenger.
Yeah, he only lost the world title at the time. Only lost the world title challengers.
It's quite frightening. So guys, give me respect, and we move on. And we're trying to do a video later in the year about Carl Froch, a deep video showing all his fights and
Start our legend series we've been talking about.
Yeah, and he might be the first person.
Yeah. Quickly, the few little bits of the news. Chudnoff injured, so the fight with Frampton is off.
Good.
Yeah, I don't think Bioni deserved the fight.
Yeah, good.
The fight's
not good. That's wrong. What I mean is, I don't think Bioni was ready for it.
Yeah. But the fight's going to be rescheduled for September.
Maybe that could help. Hopefully, he gets a fight in between. Then it could help.
Yes, he's going to stay on the card to stay active, and I think they're going to give him someone easy. But even if it's easy, I don't want to blow out. I want to see a performance.
Yeah.
I want
to say to me that, oh my God, Chudnoff fight's a good one.
Yeah, I want to see 5 rounds where he's actually boxing good, using good jab, good body movement, and then he ends the fight concussively. Yeah, he needs to sell this fight, and that's not a criticism to him. It's a criticism about the way he is where he is right now compared to fighting the world champion.
No,
AJ Anthony Joshua versus Gary Cornish now definitely signed.
Yeah.
It's going off September 12th, I think.
Yeah,
and the winner fights Dillian White.
The winner?
Yeah.
Is that what they've said?
That's the way it's being set up.
Really?
Yeah. So basically, he's saying Joshua wins if fights Dillian White.
And Cornish wins?
Yeah. Now, let's be fair. This is a real fight for Joshua.
It's a real fight.
It's his peer.
It's his peer and it's not. And look, in terms of style, guys, if you haven't seen Gary Cornish, go and watch him. He's on YouTube. You can see a few of the fights, and you see a guy. Honestly, I wouldn't say he's Tyson Fury because he's as big as Tyson Fury, but his style is like him. He's very relaxed. He's almost a super middleweight in terms of the way he moves, and that's not an exaggeration, by the way. Go and watch the fight. The reason I say it's not his peer, in the fact that is he hasn't fought anyone either. He's fought nobody, to be fair to him. He was supposed to fight Ian Lewison. Guys might check him out. He's a young British heavyweight as well. Young, he's kind of middle-aged British heavyweight that can bang. They're supposed to fight for the British title. That didn't happen. So that would have been his come-out fight. That would have been good.
I'm not being like, a couple British guys avoid Ian Lewison.
Every British guy.
They avoid him like the plague,
Yeah, hear him in the sparring and you can understand why, guys. But this is a good fight for Joshua, and I feel like he's almost on this British killing thing. And I think it's smart, so I don't mean that killing, but you know what I mean. I think it's smart for him to fight a few big British names, because their British names are out there. No point going world scene if you're not cleaned up the British division yet, and I think that's how it should be. Go to basics, get the British title, which one of the fights are going to be, the Dylan White one will be for the British title, and then move up. And I think that's good.
I think 3 quick bits. It looks like Khan is out and Berto is in for Floyd Mayweather. And rumours getting stronger and stronger, it will be on domestic US TV.
It makes sense, and it sounds stupid, but it makes sense because we said it, and I said it as soon as we talked last week that Floyd was going to fight possibly on CBS for free, and we said, well, it's not going to be a pay-per-view opponent. We said it's going to be an easier opponent. Floyd done an interview about 2 months ago, jokingly said, well, I thought it was joking at the time, saying Kareem Mayfield and Burton, everyone laughed. And well, if it's going to be free to air TV,
and then I told you about the Berto beef.
And it sounds like it's true.
It is true, It
sounds like it might happen. So, there's a guy on social media, to be fair, that I've kind of got a few tips about in terms of fights. He said that Burton Mayweather is pretty much done. If it is, and obviously, you know what makes me think? It makes me think even more now that Amir Khan knew about this before. Amir Khan's in the same training camp, we know that. And Amir Khan did tweet out something like, and we all gave Amir Khan stick in terms of you're losing. What did he say? What was Amir Khan's statement? Your legacy gets hurt by this, and we kind of thought that he was talking about himself fighting, but I think he now was talking about Berto fighting Mayweather, which makes a bit more sense. Berto fighting Mayweather is an embarrassment. There's no 2 ways about it. It's a fucking embarrassment. If it does happen, I'm gonna watch obviously, but look, it's not pay-per-view. It's a smart move, but it's an embarrassment.
Mayor Santa Cruz face to face.
Abner Miles.
I think it's a good fight. I'm looking forward to it. But I do think Abner is overlooking Santa Cruz a little bit.
So he should. He'll smash him.
Yeah, and I think he'll win as well. But some of the comments he's been saying and some of the interviews he's been saying, like, this is a walk in the park for him. He's even gone to your level of saying, who the hell has Santa Cruz fought?
No one.
Who has he got his title from? What has he done? You know what I mean? I think it's one of those fights whereas it's going to be heated. I'm not expecting a stoppage no more. I'm thinking it's going to be a hard. When a fighter as good as Abner Mares thinks overestimates his opponent, and Santa Cruz got something to prove, I think we're in for a barn burner.
What, like points?
Yeah, points.
Nah, I'll bet you a bottle of Jack Daniels right now. This doesn't go points. I'll bet you right now. Right now, single barrel Jack Daniels right now. Abner Mares stops him. Right now, if you're brave enough, just do it.
Do it. I'm not brave enough.
Do it then. Do it.
No, do it. We'll do it in the preview video for the fight.
No,
We'll do it.
We're waiting.
We'll do it.
You want to go watch a few Santa Cruz's fights?
I've seen Santa Cruz fights all the time.
So why wait? Why wait? Let's do it right now.
No, I don't need to do it right now. I don't go for peer pressure. Final bit. James Kirkland wants to release from 50 Cent. He's saying he's not getting fights and he's been inactive. I think he got hustled in his last fight against Canelo.
Yeah.
Got knocked the hell out. 50 Cent is apparently broke, going through bankruptcy.
He's not.
No, he's not broke. Bankruptcy is just to save his bloody assets.
Save his $200 billion.
Yeah, save his assets. So the question is, with all Kirkland's previous inactive activity, prison, his fight, his promotion, does he get out with his contract and does he fight again as a contender?
He fights again as a contender because Canelo will fight Cotto and then there's 154 fights out there for him. It's hard for me to say when you promote, and I don't know if 50 Cent got him the Canelo fight, it's probably more Canelo's side to be fair, looking for Kirkland. When your promoter secures you the biggest fight at 154, it's hard to say you're not getting fights.
The thing about Kirkland, I think Kirkland is one of those guys that he hasn't matured fully. He's still kind of half in the streets, half in boxing, half in real life, half in failure. And I think Kirkland's problem is that as much as he has ability, without direction, he fails, and he needs that direction. The only that gives direction is Ann Wolf. He thinks Ann Wolf robbed him. So if she thinks he did rob him, guess what? I ain't gonna fight Ann Wolf. You gonna fight Ann Wolf?
No.
Yeah. So he's got a real problem. I think personally, if he's bankrupt, he needs to get out of that contract so he's not tied up with that as well. In terms of the promotion cannot move forward, but he needs to really consider what he's going to do with his life and his career, because I think Kirkland could be a car crash waiting to happen.
He's Jermaine Taylor. So that's it, guys. Look, it's a late one, but we got it in for you guys. Look, all the stuff that's happened over the weekend. Believe you me, this was tough to get in, but we've done it. I don't know what time this is going to go up in the morning, but you're going to watch it. Next week's fights. That's what we got.
Is Kovalev versus Mohammadi.
Oh, Pascal's on the card as well. I forgot that.
Yeah, Pascal's on the card.
And we've got this one.
Oh yeah, BJ Flores versus Beibut Shubinov. At cruiserweight. But
Shumanov's going up. Shumanov's the guy that fought Hopkins, guys don't remember. So that's going up. So guys, look, don't forget to tweet, subscribe, Instagram, you know the usual. And thanks for another edition of This Week, albeit late, in boxing. Cheers, thank you.